This is Late Night Health. Darrell Wayne sitting in for Mark Alyn this week, and we have a couple of special guests. The first one is Dr. John Kennedy. Now, John, you're a cardiologist, correct?
That's right.
And do you still practice cardiology, or?
I do. I'm out here in Los Angeles fixing tickers every day.
That is not something that's probably going to go away anytime soon. Fixing tickers is probably a pretty lucrative business these days.
Yeah, it's fun too. It's exciting, and there's lots of new technology. You get to help a lot of people. It's a great profession.
And plus, it's gotten a lot more preventative than just waiting for something to happen and having an occurrence and then getting involved. Correct?
Absolutely. I think prevention is the most powerful cure.
You got this a program that you put together called Breathe, which is something I'm excited to hear about.
As a cardiologist, I've seen literally thousands of examples of how stress, regardless of the trigger, impacts our heart in a negative way. And over the last 20 years practicing, I've seen that it doesn't matter what you do. You could be, a plumber or a radio station DJ, a doctor, a lawyer. It doesn't matter. When we get stressed, it affects our heart in a negative way. And so I felt compelled to create a program to help people reduce stress. And that's basically what Breathe is. It combines guided imagery with conscious controlled breathing with positive self-talk. And it's some of the same techniques that we learn in surgery when we're feeling under pressure to focus, concentrate, and relax. And it's also some of the same information and some of the techniques that elite athletes use. And I've learned that it translates to everyone in the workplace.
As far as surgery is concerned, first of all, that's got to be very stressful because you've got literally someone's life in your hands. But the other thing is a lot of these surgeries take a long time these days.
There are some that take longer than others. I agree. I think it can be stressful. Sometimes in cardiology in particular, it's very time urgent. So we learn to mentally rehearse, and we learn to call for our instruments, for example, or we learn to recognize a pattern very quickly. But we do it so often, and we become skilled at it because we've seen it many, many times, and we're able to execute with precision and accuracy pretty consistently.
It seems to me like right now the time to see a cardiologist or to reduce stress at work is before it gets the better of you, right?
Yeah. So, just to go back for a second about work, it's interesting. I was very fortunate. I got to work with a pretty big wellness company, and I got to travel around the world. This is just pre-pandemic, very, very, almost right on the number of when it all hit. But I was really lucky, and I got to see the world in a short period of time. I was in Dubai, I was in London, I was in Paris, France, and then I was in South America and Canada in a short period of time, all working for a wellness company. And what was fascinating was these were big conferences, 500 to 1,000 people. What was fascinating to me is that regardless of industry, people are stressed at work. And the common sort of denominator is that we have too much to do with too little time, and we don't feel recognized or appreciated for the work that we do. And those things are stressful. And when we get stressed at work, our body responds in a physiologic way. Our heart rate increases, our blood pressure increases, our blood becomes thick and sticky, inflammation goes up. And so all those things, as you can imagine, are bad for your heart. But it also changes our behavior. When we're stressed at work, we exercise less. We grab for comfort foods. And we tend to self-medicate with smoking and drinking. And all those things together create the perfect storm for a cardiac event.
A lot of these companies are sort of on the harried edge right now as well with even pre-pandemic situations. A lot of these companies are are reducing cost, but still trying to keep the same volume or the same activity level up. And it's the people that remain, right? Oh, yeah, you're getting laid off. Oh, I got laid off. Well, actually, you may be in better shape than the people that stay behind because they're going to expect more from less.
Yeah, that's true. And for those people that stay behind, for those people that are working for the companies, they're really incredibly valuable. And I think companies are learning that you got to take care of your employees. And in order to keep your employees and in order to attract the best and brightest and most talented, you have to be doing something to help people deal with stress in the workplace because everybody feels it. And I think that's, in order to stay competitive as a company, you have to be investing in wellness.
If you're looking at how people get job satisfaction, which obviously helps as far as the stress is concerned, my MD is in organizational behavior. So, I've looked at this very close up. I've looked at it from far away. And you look at sort of the hierarchy of how people feel better and get rewarded for things. And it's not just money. That's not the only thing. There are ways to show people that you appreciate what they do. And to keep them healthier certainly would be a way to show that appreciation.
Absolutely. And I think it's an awesome point. And the data shows that. There's pretty good data from Harvard Health and also the American Psychology Association showing exactly what you say is that, it's not just money. It's, does your company care about you and your mental health and you and your physical health? And those companies, for example, that give paid time off or, give you a work day, a work day off. Those are the companies that I think are keeping their employees healthy and keeping their companies healthy.
So this Breathe program, is this something that's that is just a seminar that you conduct, or do other people do it? Is it something that's available on a widespread basis, or does it you personally have to be there to get it done?
The entire Breathe program is a library of videos, and each video uses this Breathe methodology. And Breathe, each letter in the word Breathe, is a separate step in this stress reduction methodology. And each of the videos takes you through a Breathe exercise, and they range between 2 and 5 minutes. And they use, again, guided imagery, conscious controlled breathing, and positive self-talk. And they're used in various situations. Some are for the workplace. For example, there's Breathe for innovation. There's Breathe for communication. There's Breathe for leadership. There's Breathe for teamwork. And there's Breathe for your job promotion. And then there are others that are concentrate more on nature. Nature's been shown, whether you're in nature or you imagine being in nature, it's really good for us. It lowers our blood pressure, lowers our heart rate. And there are Breathe exercises for various beautiful places in nature.
We're talking to Dr. John Kennedy, the author, the founder of the Breathe program. I'm sure that's an acronym for something we'll find out in the next couple of minutes. This puts it into this segment. We're coming back with John with some more questions and a deeper dive into how people could stay stress-free and in much better shape at work than they are today. You're listening to Late Night Health. My name is Darrell Wayne, sitting in for Mark Alyn. We'll be back.
Recently, I met Jacqueline from Bright here in Los Angeles. She gave me a hearing exam and then showed me how to hear again with the new Signia Pure Series hearing aids, and she can give you your life back too. I hear birds chirping, birds cooing, and even my wife. They easily connect to my smartphone. The Signia hearing aids are amazing, and with the charge and go, I don't have to fiddle with batteries and hear all day long. Not hearing is frustrating for you and your family. I know you don't have a problem, but trust me, call Bright Here now for a free hearing exam, a $125 value, yours free, just for making an appointment now. There are offices throughout the Los Angeles area. Call Bright Here now at 323-424-7100. That's 323-424-7100 for a free hearing exam. There's no obligation. Call now, 323-424-7100, or visit them on the web at brighthere.com. Late Night Health is proud of our partnership with the EBC, the Evolutionary Business Council. Check them out at ebcouncil.com.
You're listening to Late Night Health with Mark Alyn. The show continues in a moment. If you're listening to Late Night Health right now, you're part of the growing target of baby boomers we're serving. Hi, I'm Darrell Wayne, producer of Late Night Health, inviting you to join the Late Night Health family. If you have any business targeting the growing boomer market, Late Night Health is the ideal advertising vehicle for you. From vitamins to insurance, alternative health to Western-style medicine, Late Night Health caters to the growing population of those over 40 years old. This vibrant demographic has expendable income to fight aging, purchase travel, take care of aging parents, or just have fun. Find out about the advertising opportunities with Late Night Health. Call us at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308, or email us at info@latenighthealth.com. That's info@latenighthealth.com. Join Late Night Health as we empower people to take charge of their own health care. Call now at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308.
Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Words are a critical aspect of success. How you get your point across is a crucial part of what makes anything sell. So do it right and hire a writer. Whether it's articles, blog posts, technical writings, website content, product descriptions, or ghostwriting anything from a novel to a nonfiction book about your navel, contact Servet Hassan. If you want it to sell, write it right. Email Servet at servet@servethassan.com. Late Night Health continues. My name is Darrell Wayne, sitting in for Mark Alyn this morning, and we're talking to Dr. John Kennedy. Dr. John Kennedy has a way to reduce stress in the workplace. We were talking in the last segment that you've got different packages for different levels of activity and different kinds of activity, whether it be, cerebral, whether it be physically intense, whether it be mentally intense, whatever the case may be. And I'm glad that there wasn't like a one-fits-all solution that you could come up with, because obviously things can be drastically different as far as what the stressors themselves are. What are some of the common things that people may be stressed over that they may not even know about?
And again, to go back to what, inspired me to do this, as a cardiologist, I interview thousands of people on a monthly basis, and often they complain about the stress at work. And the stress at work, again, people have too much to do with too little time, and they don't feel appreciated for the work they do, and they don't ever take a break. And so I said, look, we have to help people take breaks, and we have to give them effective, accessible stress reduction exercises that they can do. And that's basically what drove it all. Was I was compelled by how stressed people are and how it directly impacts your cardiac health. And I said, look, what can we do to help people relax? And I learned from elite athletes that they do a special exercise where they will envision the task at hand. For example, a dive, if you're an Olympic diver, or you're a soccer player kicking a penalty kick. And they imagine watching themselves execute that skill perfectly. That's called intrinsic visualization, where you see the goal and achieving the goal from your vantage point, from your eyes. And then what's really cool is they imagine themselves watching themselves from the bleachers, executing perfectly, making the free throw or kicking the penalty kick or diving this perfect 10 dive. And those two types of visualization are integrated and woven into each of the breathe exercises, those two types of visualization. And they're very relaxing. They help elicit the relaxation response, the opposite of the stress response. And they help every person, when they do these exercises, focus, concentrate, relax, and protect their hearts.
Not unlike some sort of an affirmation of some type.
It is an affirmation. So, for example, there are breathe exercises that are designed for the workplace. For example, there's one that's an affirmation, if you want to use that word, which is a great word, for innovation. And you imagine using those two types of visualization, intrinsic and extrinsic. You imagine achieving the goal and then watching yourself achieve that goal. But you innovate. You think of what can I do at work that would be innovative and, create a better workplace or some type of, invention that you bring to the workplace and make it a better place. There's also ones for communication, working with your teammates, your boss, your CEO. There's ones for leadership. You run a project, and you come to fruition, the project comes to fruition. They're all based on positive self-talk, which is another very important component of these exercises. And another great thing about this is we've measured how this changes your body in a positive way and helps you achieve these goals that we're talking about.
I was just going to that question. Is there are some sort of key performance metrics that you're looking? How do you measure improvement other than just time away from work and people that got sick and people that ended up with physical ailments as a result of being at work?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I think the big broader data that we have, I was mentioning earlier, some from Harvard Health and the American Psychology Association, looks at companies that invest in wellness programs, and that includes wellness programs is sort of a broad category, but those that invest in exercise programs, diet at work, certain types of diet at work, and stress reduction programs. And those show that when you invest, when you pay a dollar per employee on those types of programs, you save $3. And that correlates with absenteeism. There's less absenteeism. There's more productivity, and then there's less claims for people being sick. So that's how you would measure it. It's indirect. But what I like about the Breathe program, which is what I've created for people in the workplace, is that you can directly measure the stress reduction response by measuring your heart rate. What's really neat is when you learn how to do this progressive relaxation exercise, your heart rate falls, your blood pressure falls, and you can directly measure it immediately following use of this program.
The question I had is recently on the marketplace, there's some new measurement instruments. They've got these EKG things where you just press your thumbs in there and they use the Bluetooth or something to record, send the information. Are those reliable? Do they mean anything, or they're just toys?
Yeah, no, they're actually pretty good. Some of the ones that you're describing that I'm familiar with, you can use your phone and use both thumbs to press down on your phone, and you can measure your heart rate. And you can imagine if you're doing a stress reduction exercise from the beginning to end, the beginning your heart rate would be, let's say, 100, and at the end of your exercise it drops to 70 or 80. That's a measurable change, and you're eliciting what's called the relaxation response. There's another really good one out there now with a ring. It's a ring that you just place on your finger, and it does measure your heart rate. And soon I haven't seen this yet, but soon they'll be able to measure blood pressure as well.
I've seen that, and I've also seen the one you press your thumbs on, it gives you actually an EKG. It gives
Yes.
the actual, readout. Yep. It knows what to look for as far as abnormalities, or AFib, or whatever the case may be.
Yep, exactly. They're actually getting better and better.
I would think that would be convenient, but I also think that would sort of lead people to get almost compulsive about it and become a hypochondriac.
I've seen that too. Patients of mine that use them, I recommend using it once in the morning and once at night. When you start checking it every, 10 seconds, then I agree. I think it sort of defeats its purpose, and you start to get neurotic about it, and then it's not really helping you. It may even be harming you.
Mark Alyn and I started this radio program, probably 7 years ago at this point. And for the first month or two, Mark had everything every guest talked about when they came on. I've got that, I've got that, I've got that, I need this. He was up to like 30 or 40 supplements a day from various recommendations. It got a little crazy. So you do need to be able to have the knowledge to sort of pick and choose what you use, what you don't use.
Absolutely.
So tell me how a company or an individual that's interested in the Breathe program, how do they get started? What do they do? What do they look for? How does it go?
There's a few ways that we are doing this. I meet with companies that integrate this program. It's a stress reduction video program. It integrates seamlessly into existing wellness programs, and employees can access it through their smartphones. They can track and log their usage and their heart rate and their progress and productivity. And that's one way. There's also, you can go to the website directly, breathewithdrkennedy.com, and you can try the videos. You can see the videos. You can see some of the testimonials of people that are using it, and you can see the broad library of videos that we have produced.
Got about a minute left, Dr. Kennedy, John Kennedy, our guest on Late Night Health. What are your final thoughts, and what's your last word to the audience?
Yeah, I would say that, I think that stress is common in the workplace, and we should work on effective ways to reduce it. And please, if you get a chance, check out breathewithdrkennedy.com. You'll learn effective ways to focus, concentrate, relax, and protect your heart all at the same time.
Dr. John Kennedy, our guest on Late Night Health. Late Night Health continues in a few minutes.